Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have a lot more fun. I'm your host, Paul Sanneman. I'm founder of Contractor Staffing Source, where we help contractors build great teams. My guest today is Melissa McDonald of the Smartsheet PM. So she's going to tell me what she does so we can all understand how she can help us out. So, Melissa, tell me a backstory and exactly what you do and who you do it for.
So I am a former project management nerd, and really like organization and being productive. And with my project management background, I decided to go into consulting to help other organizations get better at their project management. We specialize in using Smartsheet as the tool to help provide that visibility and management. And specifically from a contractor and building perspective in construction, we can help different contractors, construction companies put together collaborative tools that can be used by their subs and within their teams to help manage their projects
Okay,
better.
so most contractors have some kind of, whether it's, Buildertrend, Co-Construct, you pick one, or JobTread. How does it tie in with that, or is it separate, or, because a lot of people use these project management software to manage their projects. How does
Mhm.
yours tie in with that, or separate from it?
It's completely separate. Smartsheet is a separate work collaborative platform where it's kind of the best of Excel, PowerPoint, MS Project, and MS Teams all in one. And
Mhm.
you build the solution that you need. So, say you've got Excel and you're managing your project with Excel. Well, it's not going to give you your visibility or your dashboards or sharing very easily. So
Mhm.
now we move it into a very Microsoft Office friendly, user friendly tool, and then you can build the automations, the workflows, and the collaboration in Smartsheet without any coding. It's all very MS Office felt feeling and
Mhm.
use. But you build the tool you need versus conforming to what you buy out of the box.
Okay. How does it tie in? Let's say somebody's already using JobTread or some kind of project management software, which most people listening to this podcast are using something. I mean, unless they have a ton of Excel spreadsheets or Google Drive or whatever, that's the other option, right? But how do you come in and let's say I can see if they're using Excel, you could like that's easy because it's just a way better version of doing it on Excel, maybe in Google Sheets. But how does it tie in if they're already using, I'm going to say, JobTread or something? Is it separate? Can you tie them together? Because they're sort of committed because they're using the software. May not do everything they want, but they got it, right?
Right. Smartsheet can come in and fill the gaps. So what is JobTread not doing? What is Buildertrend not doing? What is MS Project not doing?
Hmm.
Smartsheet can come in and fill the gaps for those things that you need from a process perspective, because Smartsheet can be used for supply management, for inventory management, for communication management, not just for projects. Whereas a lot of these project management software is only used to manage the projects. You want to
Right.
manage your budget, you want to manage your personnel, annual bonus and performance reviews. Smartsheet can be used for more than just projects.
Okay. So I assume it ties in the QuickBooks or whatever you're using for financial management, right?
We would need to integrate that. That's not a direct tie-in. It does work together with Google and with MS Office in different ways. So there are some connections and some integrations there. Salesforce. Um, so yeah, there's some connectors and integrations already.
Because everybody usually has a technology stack, in which they acquired organically, right? They may have HubSpot, they may have Salesforce used to be a company, so it's not size companies we deal with, but they have HubSpot, they may have GoHighLevel, they've got QuickBooks, they've got a bunch of Google spreadsheets, and they may have people, Excel spreadsheets. They got all this stuff, right? So how do you help integrate or make that work together? Because most people are too small to have an IT guy. They just don't. So how do you help all that work together?
So we come in and understand where that company or that leader or that team is and what they're trying to do. What are your biggest pain points? and how can we help Smartsheet address those pain points? And we're going to assess what's happening and what you're looking for. And we'll be upfront with you. If we don't feel like Smartsheet would be a solution for you, then we will let you know. But for the most part, we can come in and really address what problem do you need help solving.
Okay. So can you give me an example of either, let's say you work with remodeling contractors as a group at all?
My husband is a remodeler and he uses Smartsheet all the
Okay, so obviously you're closely connected to a remodeling contractor, right? So explain to me maybe your ideal remodeling client. I mean, I would say most people we work with are between 1 million and 5 million. They're small, right? So how would you come in and probably a lot of them are using, I'm just using JobTread as an example. They've got JobTread. They may or may not have a CRM. They're trying to use JobTread, or they've got maybe HubSpot if they can afford it. They've got some Google Sheets that they're trying to do Excel spreadsheets in. So how would you help them, and what would it cost, and how long would it take?
So the number one complaint that I hear is that they're all over the place. Like you just your story, your analogy, a little bit of Google Sheets, a little bit of Excel. You're kind of all over the place with different stacks. How do we bring everything into one single source of truth so that we
Mhm.
can see everything in one picture? We want to see not just the project, we want to see the portfolio, we want to see progress, all of that stuff. So where I would come in, get a feel for your tech stack. What are your pain points? How can Smartsheet address those pain points? So I offer a recommended process workflow from our conversations before anything even comes into fruition, before we do
Mhm.
anything. You may not even have Smartsheet. So if we want to do a 30-day trial, to see what's going on and if that addresses a specific pain point with a subcontractor, with managing a project, alerts. Smartsheet allows you to do workflows to say what's behind, what's coming up, who hasn't responded, in that sense. So I get a feel working with you on where the most value is going to be with another technology so that we're not adding on to your tech
Okay.
stack.
It's sort of scary because I've already got, a tech stack I don't use most of anyway, right?
Right.
And I'm a little afraid, well, I've got some stuff in Google Drive, I got some stuff in Excel, I've got maybe I'm using HubSpot, maybe it's GoHighLevel for doing some CRM stuff. And maybe I bought JobTread a year ago trying to have it fixed up.
Mhm.
So I'm a little paranoid. Just what I need another, another pair of software that I'm not going to use, right? So
Mhm.
how do you get through that and show them that yes, this isn't just another software, but this is going to help you integrate and get rid of some of the stuff you're already doing, right? I'm assuming.
So I will go through and show them some demos so that they can see what is it that I'm going to get with this that I don't have with my current stack. And instead of adding on to your tech stack, what can we replace? Is this going to be a better platform that's going to take the place of something and then do more than what something else is doing? So number one, we don't want to just keep piling on to your tech stack. We want to
Right.
see what we can replace and make better for that.
So, I mean, I know a lot of guys have either a ton of Excel or a ton of Google Sheets, right? It just keeps escalating because every time they have a new problem, they come up with a new Excel spreadsheet for the new problem, whatever it is, right? Then they're trying to integrate it with GoHighLevel, which they probably bought and doesn't work like they wanted it to work. And meanwhile, they're committed to JobTread because it's supposed to manage projects. That, to me, that's a typical guy that I work with. So give me some example of somebody that you went in with, your husband doesn't count, somebody you came in with and said, hey, using all this stuff and where they started, where they ended up, and why they're better off.
So a local construction company here in Scottsdale,
Okay.
um, this is about 2 years ago, they came saying, hey, we have Smartsheet, we love it, we want to use it. We need to manage the intake process, the projects themselves, and we need visibility to what's happening at the macro and the micro level for what's happening. Plus, we need to work across multiple subcontractors and multiple assets. So they're renovating hotels, they're renovating residential, they're kind of doing a little bit of everything. So they've got different templates per different project as well. So they were all over the place, couldn't manage any one particular asset or one project or the demand that's coming in to be able to get ahead of the resources, the budgeting, and all of that stuff. So managing it from creating an intake where we can say, this is what's coming up, and this is how we start planning around everything before it's even a project is going to be helpful. So let's manage demand, manage intake. Do we have all the information, all the players, all the approvals, I's dotted, T's crossed before we move into anything else? Then we've got a standardized project template per construction type project that helps simplify the management and the alerts and notifications and the sharing for that project itself. But because we've standardized it, now we can pull out the information from a reporting piece, and the reporting is automated. You don't have to come back and say, I need to make a separate report. By just managing your project in this template, in this solution, we've programmed it to extract the information that the company or the construction manager needs to see and when he needs to see it. And then we aggregate it. So you got the projects itself across the different assets, but now let's aggregate it. So let's see all the housing projects. Let's see all the hotel renovation projects. Let's see everything by program and by portfolio so that we can see the big picture. This is our budget, this is our spend, these are our resources, and we pull it all together in that sense, customized for exactly what that company wanted to see and needed to use.
So why is Smartsheets better than Microsoft Office or Google Drive or the stuff that most people are using now? What does it do that they don't do?
Well, Smartsheet pulls it all together. So when you're using, say, a sheet, a smart sheet itself, which is going to be like your Excel sheet, we can extract information and put it into a connected dashboard, which would be your PowerPoint, and it feeds it in real time. So we're tracking, managing, and measuring productivity metrics, spend, progress in a dashboard that you only really need to build once and then just maintain it. So as you're managing the sheet, that information is getting extracted in real time for whatever you're tracking and monitoring.
So does it pull from, let's say you've got GoHighLevel or Google's Drive? I mean, does it pull from all the Excel spreadsheets already got, or does it create new ones? How does that work?
So we can import and export to and from Excel. We can import and export to and from Google Sheets itself. So we want to create a template that's already connected to the metrics and the measurements so that as you're going to bring your project or your work or your process into Smartsheet, we've worked with you behind the scenes to say, here's the information that's coming in, but we've already built the tool, it's already connected so that we can measure it. So let's build a tool for you to manage it, but we're already measuring it in a
So do you
sense.
still they still keep all the stuff in Google Drive or Google Sheets that they had before, and then it extracts it out, or does it replace something like Google Sheets?
It would replace that. You wouldn't be doing it in Google Sheets anymore if you wanted to use Smartsheet for that. So, I mean, at some point, there's going to be a line drawn that historical information is going to stay there. There's no point to bring historical information over. We want to move forward, draw that line. Moving forward, we're going to be in Smartsheet from here on out, historical content somewhere else. Because that's a lot of work to want to bring in
Right.
all of that information, but you don't want
Because
to.
what happens is it organically evolves because you know what to do. I mean, in our company, I think we have, I don't know, 150 Google Sheets because every time something up is new, we come up with a new Google Sheet because we got to track something else and we aren't tracking it already. So then we have these Google Sheets that have like 30 things across, right? We just keep adding columns to whatever we're doing because we want to find out something else. And it gets rather unwieldy after a while.
It does, but with Smartsheet, you have the ability to archive. We can, move things and you have it all in one place. So in Google Sheets, is it in a different folder? Is it in a different area? Whose computer is it on? Whose account is it in? In Smartsheet, it's a collaborative work platform that puts everything in the platform. And then based off of sharing permissions, who can actually access something and do anything with it, but you know it's all going to be in Smartsheet. And so actively managed items versus completed versus archived versus what's coming up. And here's your pipeline for different things. Um, that's where we work together to help you and help us design more of a system, not just a tool.
Okay. So it's basically built on some kind of process map, right? Versus just a bunch of sheets.
Correct.
Okay, so you map the process and then Smartsheets tracks the process versus just a bunch of tools that keep track of all the numbers, I'm assuming.
Well, we help you design and architect how the data is going to flow between the objects in Smartsheet and to give you a solution
Okay.
itself. And then we also work with you in a sense that, if you've got Smartsheet knowledge, you're using Smartsheet, but you're not getting the value out of it because a lot of people, like my husband, use it and other people, we come in and we optimize and we coach and we co-build. So we don't just come in and say, hey, we can do it all for you. There's not a lot of budget in what
Right.
people are doing.
And how do you charge for what you do, and is there such thing as a typical cost? I'm going to give you, let's say I'm a $3 million remodeling company. I'm using, JobTread. I've got a bunch of Google Sheets. We've got some Macs and some PCs, depending on who wanted to like what they liked. We tried GoHighLevel. We got all that, using that for our CRM. When you come in, is it like days, weeks, months? Is it tens of thousands, thousands? I mean, give me some order of magnitude here.
So it just depends. We did a manual project portfolio management tool for a local construction company. We did the training and we gave them a little bit of documentation, and it was about 60 hours. We can give you, and that was a matter of, a couple of weeks less than, because really you're not waiting on us to provide the solution. We're waiting on usually the client as
Right.
they ramp up. And I don't have time for this, I can't test it yet. And we just need a little bit more time. So you're not ever going to wait on us to provide you that solution. But we can be, and if I think that was about $6,000 for that,
So
small
basically, you're about $100 an hour, give or take, right?
150.
Okay.
Depending on, because so Smartsheet, the other aspect of that is it scales. So as your company grows, obviously start off small. You don't need all the wingdings and the big account in Smartsheet. Start off small and Smartsheet grows with you, which is what I prefer to do with the clients. And as they grow, and as their company gets bigger and more projects, Smartsheet can scale. Do you need automation? Do we want to, upgrade your account to add in automation that isn't part of what you normally have right now? So
And,
Smartsheet can grow with you as well.
and how much does Smartsheet cost? I mean, from the basic to the deluxe. I mean, what a typical cost of the software?
So typically I start off, if you're a smaller company and you don't need a lot of people in Smartsheet itself, I would say start off with a business account with 3 licensed users. That's going to be your minimum level of account that you're going to need, $684 a year for the 3 licenses, for
Okay.
that one. Then you can move up. Adding a license, is just add more licenses to that. If you move into an enterprise account, which is going to be at least 10 business, once you 3 to 10 licenses stay in the business account. More than 10 people that are going to be in it, using it, sharing it. Let's move to enterprise. You get more features, you get more capabilities, more security, for that one. Then that's going to move up in pricing itself. And then beyond that, you've got add-ons that are more
So what
premium.
does an enterprise account say? They've got 30 people. I'm just throwing something out.
So off the top of my head, and don't quote me here because I'm not looking at pricing. I would say that could be, $12,000 to $15,000 for an enterprise account for 30 licenses.
So it's
But
like 1,000 a month, give or take. right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I pay $700 a month for my Google Drive, something like that, because it all adds up, right? Okay. Cool. Well, if people want to get a hold of you, Melissa, how do they do that? And do you do some kind of an original intake, like to find out if it makes any sense to work with you?
Yeah, I mean, they can go to my website, thesmartpm.pro. They can find me on LinkedIn, the Smart PM, or Melissa McDonald itself. And there's numerous ways to get in touch with me on the website and or LinkedIn, or email me at melissa@thesmartpm.pro.
Okay. So if you're a contract business and you're interested in somewhat improving your software stack and you're using a lot of stuff you don't know what it's going to do and how it's going to cost, I think this might be a way to like, for lack of a better term, get your software stack to do what it's supposed to do and probably not cost much more than it's already costing you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody has a software stack that's all grown organically. Nobody ever started out with all this stuff and just keep adding stuff, right? Cool. Okay, thanks. I appreciate being here, and get a hold of Melissa if you think your software stack is a little overwhelming or you don't understand it.